Hey guys, what's up? It's KoninjaX back again with another video, and today, I'm going to move my mic a little bit, we are doing Oj2 Hot Takes. If you were in the Switch server Discord, or on the My Hero 1 Justice 2 Reddit, or in my community tab, I posted up a thing saying, what are your Oj2 Hot Takes? Now, if you remember, I have done this video before, like 2-ish years ago, and I just never did it again. But I thought it would be a good idea to do it again. First off, let's preface this out of the way. These aren't hot takes. A lot of these are actually hella frigid takes. But I will be running through two versions of this. I'll be running through the Reddit comments. I'll be running through Discord comments. Unfortunately, I didn't get any community tab comments. I'm kind of disappointed by that. But you know what? We have enough for at least like a 10-minute video on here real quick. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so first one is by Polar Bear. I'm not going to be saying the numbers. I don't want anyone to get harassed. I doubt anyone's going to harass people over OJ2. But we will read this take. All three Dekus have their damage or combo potential boosted because he's the main character. I swear you can combo much longer with him than you can with anyone else. Okay, so this is just factually wrong. A lot of characters can combo a lot longer than base 100% and shoot style. I mean, shoot style has relatively longish combos. Like, I say he has decent long combos, but even then, you're not getting close to like Cammy length, overhaul length sometimes, Rappa length. Oh my god, Rappa hits. Oh my god, Rappa combos. Hell, even some like higher top tier characters like Bakugo or Hawks, they have decently long combos, sometimes even longer than normal shoot style. Base Deku hits like a truck. He hits like a truck. But that's his identity, that he hits like a truck. He's a Shoto that hits like a truck. 100% gimmick is that he's fucking dog shit. So, no, Mr. Polar Bear, Deku does not have any boosted combo potential. It's just that he's the main character, you see him a lot, so you know his combos a lot more, and it's more boring for you because you see him all the time. He is the main character, and I think all the Dekus are really fun in this game. But yeah, that's basically the whole thing with that. There's no boosted combo potential. Like, if that were the case, the deck would be a lot better on the tier list than you think. Now, base and shoot style, they are pretty good characters, but it's not like they're the end-all be-all characters of this game. So yeah, that's the first take. Let's see. This one is by Murky Perception, and he says, infinite combos do not make a game fun/better. This is the most ice-cold, frigid-ass, Hoarfrost Z-ass, if you get that reference you already know, take I've ever heard. This take is ice-cold. I think I might need to get a jacket because I feel I'm getting chills down my spine just reading this fucking take. That's ice-cold. Of course, infinites do not make a game better. Infinites would never make a game better. It won't make a game more fun. The only exception is if the infinite is super fucking hard. That's when it gets hype. Because if you can pull up a really hard infinite in like, especially a tournament setting, but even online with like delay, then I think you kind of deserve it, and that is kind of hype. But obviously it will get boring after a while. This is a completely ice cold take. This is a completely ice cold take. This next one is by Little Pebble, and this one is the biggest flex a Tetsu player can do is face tank a plus ultra 2 or 3. Yeah, that's cool. But have you ever just guarded an entire plus ultra 2 or 3? I think that's a lot cooler than face tanking it. I think if you can just guard it, because with Tetsu you just put the armor on and you face tank the entire thing, you don't have to do anything. With just guards, you have to kinda time it. Right? You gotta kind of time it. I don't know how hard it is to just guard a plus 1 or 2 or 3, but I'm assuming it'd be hard considering some of them have insane amounts of hits. But yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. Next is by old buddy Rai Rai. Shoot style isn't broken, you're just a noob. Shoot style is a scrub killing character. He's such a scrub killing character that I will say this, if you are a shoot style player, and the day you learn how to whiff cancel with shoot style is the moment you become like two levels higher of a player. I'm gonna be honest. Like, shoot styles who don't know how to whiff cancel versus shoot styles who know how to whiff cancel are so wildly more skilled or much wildly more prepared to play OJ2. It's wild. Find a shoot style who just picked up the game today and then fight that shoot style again after they learn how to whiff cancel. I trust you. There is a difference. I trust you. Like, shoot styles who can whiff cancel can fight, like, decent players who have played, like, for a decent bit, because whiff canceling is just so strong, especially with Quirk 2. Whiff canceling with Quirk 2 is so goddamn busted. And slide, not as busted as Quirk 2, but you already know. Next is Gentle is the only character that doesn't need assists unless you're doing something extra. That is honestly how great I think he is. Yeah, you say that until an All Might is on your ass and you're calling for Kirishima assists because you don't want to get hit by that sick, nasty 15k fucking loop ass shit. You say that. You say that until you get punched in the face. You are cocky until you get your ass blasted, and you're like, where the fuck is my goddamn? Where the fuck is my goddamn assist? No! And then you're just dead. Yeah, then you're just dead. Say that. Say that when you're like really, 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 really fucking good. But yeah, this one is actually a pretty good hot take that I can talk about for a little bit. This one is by Webb. 60% of top players aren't good at the game and only rely on loops and spam to win. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. I'm sorry, Webb. I like you, but I gotta roast you. That take is brain dead. That take is bad. The reason someone becomes a top player in the first place is not because they spam, it's because they have intention, right? Fighting games, when someone starts playing, the reason you're losing to spam, the reason you're losing to all this whack-ass shit is because you don't have intention and you're not good enough to actually beat him. Now, when I talked to Webb, he said that he played against a bunch of people and he won every single time. Now, there are two reasons for this. One, Webb is an above-average player. If you ever seen him, he whoops my ass on the daily. So, one, you're an above-average player. Two, the most people you're fighting in rank, they're all garbage, unless you're running into, like, really good players. You're running into the average or, like, below-average players right now. So, that's why the spam is working. They just do not know how to deal with it. Do that shit against any good player, and you are getting washed. You are getting washed. Like, there's a difference between a Toga, like a Jim Bob 52, the 50-point Toga, against Shy Guy Ranger. Who do you put your money on? Who do you put your money on right now? If spam is that prevalent, then any Dobby player could go to Wanted, whoop ass, and win, right? If spam was that good. If spam was that good. The reason top players can not only rely on spam unless you're playing like specific characters, specific comps, just to get your win. Now, granted, a lot of OJ2 gameplays are brain dead, but it's not just spam. You do have to actually know how to play the game to actually be a good player. And I feel like we can all agree on that, right? Yeah. So, all in all, I think this was a bad take. No offense to Webb. We all have bad takes. I made a tier list where I put Denki in top 5. I deleted that video, so don't even try to search for that. But, yeah. That's, I think that was a pretty bad take on Webb's end. But yeah, let's go move on to the next one. I am a better Aizawa player than Webhead. Made by Boku. Alright, Boku, fuck off. Nope, I'm not even going into that one. This one is by Kuro! Let's read this. Let's read this. This is the second to last one before we go out of these Reddit comments and go into the Discord comments. So, Just Guards are fine, unless you're Tokiyami, who gets 3 times the meter for 1. If you fight someone who's actually good at the game, or you are more unpredictable, you won't land nearly as many as you would against the random Timmy mashing buttons. If you are just getting just guarded left and right, it's likely your own fault. While sometimes I think the meter gain is a bit much on top of the free reversal unless they have an assist, I think it's a great way to punish players who just sit on the side of the map and do projectiles. I think this is a good take. Just Guards are strong. They're a parry. I'd hope they're strong. Like, I'd hope they're strong, right? I want Just Guards to be strong because they are a parry. Now, granted, would I want them to be a bit harder to execute for the reward that it gives you? Yes. Is there counterplay to Just Guards? Yes. It's called bait that bitch out with correct movement. Literally, it's just a skill issue if you get Just Guarded left and right. Just stop being predictable and you won't get Just Guarded left and right. Trust me. Movement movement is just as a valuable tool when it comes to baiting something out as it is like actually trying to bait something out like by blocking or something. Trust me, movement is great for that. Learn movement, trust me, you'll be baiting so much shit out. Trust me. Dash towards your opponent, jump back. Dash towards, jump back. Dash towards, just guard. Yep, literally like that. Yeah, movement is great. Movement is great to bait out just guards like that. You wait, you see them just guard, you punish them. It's easy like that. I think this is a pretty good take. Okay, so let's go on to the final one. Mineta is OP. Can spam sticky balls at you, run away until you get fully stuck, then combo, rinse and repeat until you die. Um, yeah. Yeah, Mineta's pretty dumb. The good thing is that barely anyone plays him. That's the great thing. Mineta is a scrub killing character. Obviously, if you're Timmy52 and you just picked up the game and you're mashing buttons with Mineta, you're obviously not going to win. But if you're like at least somewhat skilled with Mineta, you'll obviously come out on top with the dub because you can abuse the fact that people get impatient, and when you're slowed, you become very vulnerable to everything Mineta does. His red is busted, and if you cannot dodge that red because you're way slower and your roll would be way slower and your movement's way slower, you just get fucked over. You genuinely just get fucked over. Now, Kirishima Assist could probably prevent some of that because, you know, it's fucking Kirishima Assist. What can it do? But, yeah, other than that, yeah, I think that's a decent take to have. He is the only guy who got downvoted. I'm gonna give him an up note. But, yeah, I think those were all just takes. There was only one take I thought was bad, which was Web. And, other than that, let's go on to these Discord comments. There are fewer, but I think there's more to talk about with them. Alright, so, first one is by Discus, Mr. Frogman himself. If you complain about someone doing something in the game that you can also do, you're just refusing to improve. This is a general fighting game take. Obviously, this is just a fighting game take. If you are actively fighting something that you yourself and there is available counterplay online, like a tutorial or guide, you should stop complaining and just get better. Sometimes complaining is fine, but as long as you're complaining but still willing to learn the counterplay, then it's cool. I think it's okay to complain as long as you're willing to learn how to stop complaining and learn the counterplay. Now, with Oj2, I think it's okay to complain a bit more because there is a lot of jank in this game. Like, a lot more than something like freaking GGST, even though there's jank in that, DBFZ, even though there's definitely jank in that. But yeah, I think there's generally, it's okay to complain. Like, if you're fighting like a Midnight, you're playing Rappa, there's no way you're going to predict you are going to fight Rappa. Especially if you're like a newer player, I think you just got to hold that L and then just try and learn the matchup later. But yeah, I think this is a good take. I think it's just a general fighting game take. A lot of these takes are general fighting game takes. I just kind of spin them with the Oj2 little look. But yeah, let me go on to the next one. This next one is by Spark, whose name is Spork for some reason. People who main low tiers and act like they're honorable players due to that are low-key annoying. I'm gonna tell y'all now. There is no honor in a fighting game. There is one rule. If it annoys your opponent and it gets you the dub, keep fucking doing it. I don't care if it's an All Might loop. I don't care if it's spamming with Midnight. If it is getting you the dub, keep doing it. There is no honor in a fighting game, only the dub. Literally. Like, I couldn't care less if it was unfun for you. But, I mean, to be fair, you still have the right to complain if you're getting fucking zoned out by a Todoroki and you just can't do anything about it. You still have the right to complain, but that dude is doing a viable playstyle that he is allowed to do by the rules of the game. He's not cheating, he's not breaking anything at all. You are allowed to do that, you know? And with low tiers, I kind of went off on a tangent on something broken, but with low tiers, you either play them because you're a character loyalist and you know that there are some people that are going to fuck you up, or because you do it for the meme. That's kind of why I do it with Nomu, a little bit of those two. But yeah, you're not any more honorable if you play Nomu, Fat Gum, Muscular, 100%. If anything, you're kind of stifling yourself, right? If anything, you're kind of stifling yourself. We'll come back to this high tier, low tier discussion later with the last two takes that I'm going to read. But Here is the next one. This one is by Shy Guy Ranger. So this one is Midnight and her gimmick was a good addition / idea to the game, even if the implication was perhaps too grand or jank. This is a fine take. I think the only reason I would disagree is because Midnight's ability in itself takes away player agency. The whole sleep mechanic thing puts you to sleep in the middle of a combo. You kind of feel like you're getting robbed for a second. She puts you to sleep for a long time. It sucks. The main reason I don't like Midnight Sleep is because it applies on block and on Just Guard. If you got rid of those two things, I would not be mad about Midnight Sleep. I really wouldn't be. Because it is easy enough to avoid as long as you're able to block it. As long as you're able to block it. There are other problems with Midnight that you could probably change around that would make her like more balanced. But in her sleep mechanic, I think if you just made it blockable, just guardable, then we're good. That's it. This applies to people like Shinzo. Shinzo's gimmick was cool, but they applied it in a too grandiose way where it was way too powerful and way too gimmicky to actually like work. And it made the character very busted, and it was very unfun to fight against. And I had a pact where if I saw someone playing Shinzo Assist or Shinzo in general, I would just leave. If I was playing Mirio, then I could just beat them outright since they didn't know how to play without their counter. They didn't know how to play without their infinite because I could just permeate through it. Oh my god, I love that time. It was so much fun to be a Mirio main during the peak Shinzo. It was so much fun to be a Mirio main. You were actually the anti-meta. Next is Seasons. Kurogiri was a waste of a slot. He says he will die on this hill. Kurogiri was absolutely a waste of a slot. But if we're arguing that Kurogiri is a waste of a slot, there's another person that I would like to talk about who is equally a waste of a slot. Mei. She got a fight during the sports festival, and that's it. That's it. Kurogiri, we saw in the League of Villains hideout, we knew we had a portal quirk. That's it. That's all we knew. That's literally all we knew about that. And then he just came into the game. He's a cool character, and I like what they did with his moveset, especially with the No More Arms move. That's a great way to reuse assets. I gush over that move. It's so cool. But they were waste of slots, and you could have obviously picked someone like Kamui Woods. Hell, Mount Lady, I don't know how the fuck that would work. But yeah, you could obviously pick characters like Kamui Woods, Mount Lady, Edge Shot, anyone else. Hell, another freaking Deku. But at the time, there wasn't really a need for another Deku because at the time when they came out, OJ was kind of up to date. They were just behind on the Gentle arc. But yeah, that is a very, 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 very fine take to have. There's like 3 other takes that I think are, no, there are 6. Next is I can't talk. That one guy over there says, zoning isn't as obnoxious as people say, they just suck at being patient for any length of time other than a second. That one is a fine take. I think in OJ2 it's a lot more frustrating because a lot of projectiles are overtuned and they seem really strong. And I feel like as a new player, it is fine to get frustrated by them. Just know that a lot of them that you're getting frustrated by actually have counterplay. The better you get, the better you will be at not being able to get fucked by them. Obviously, as a decent player myself, I still get mad at Todoroki. I'm kind of decent. I still get mad at Todoroki, bro. So yeah, zoning is something you can get around, and this is a general fighting game take. Zoning is something you can get around, but it is completely okay to be frustrated by something like this. It is literally you standing in the far edges of the screen, and you can't do shit because you're getting hit by all these different meteors and balls and energy waves, and you can't do anything. You feel like you're being smothered. It is very annoying, very frustrating, but hey, that's why we have guard breaks in Kirishima, bro. That's why we have guard breaks and not guard breaks, but assist breaks. But yeah, next is Todoroki isn't a boring character to fight. Same with Endy. I agree with Todoroki. Absolutely will not agree with Endy. Endy, even at the highest level, just yellow, 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 spear, fireball. I've seen top level Endy play, and it is nothing more than that. I'm telling you this. You will not find an Endy do anything more than that, not unless they're going for the sauce. But anything else, they just yellow, 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 spear, 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 fireball. Todoroki depends on the player. You can play him like a bitch and you can camp with him, throw ice slides, throw ice fireballs and stuff like that, that's completely fine. Or you can play more aggressively using your fireballs to kind of advance forward, dash cancel after them. Apply the pressure so that way you can make your opponent fucking fear you. Because, Todoroki can do that. May not be the most optimal way to play him, but you can play him like that, and I think that's pretty cool. Inasa isn't top 1, only top 3. Yeah, he's still fucking busted though. Yeah. I mean, I know this thing isn't arguing if he's busted or not, but yeah. I feel like saying he's top 3 in a roster of like almost 60 characters is not an insult to him. It is just that like I'm assuming when he's talking about the top 1 and 2, maybe Toga and then someone else. But yeah, obviously Inasa is insane, so don't think he says he's top 3 instead of top 1 makes it so that way he's a bad character. Absolutely not. Inasa will never be a bad character. Absolutely not. The way the game is right now, for the foreseeable future, he will never be a bad character unless massive meta changes happen and he gets nerfed into the absolute ground. But Inasa is a great character, so don't think him saying he's looking top 3 instead of top 1. Like, I'm sorry if Inasa is a shotgun with like 15 barrels that can like blow off half of your entire body, and top 1 is a mega disintegration laser that destroys your entire body, I could still take the shotgun. I'd still take the shotgun because blowing half of your body off still means death. Right? It still means death. It's just by different ways. You're just not getting completely disintegrated. Right? There's those holes in that game plan, but the game plan itself is so wildly oppressive that it's just there, and he's there to stay, and he's really good. Next is another one by Discus. Matchup knowledge carries a good amount of people. Yes, it's a fighting game. Matchup knowledge and execution carries everyone. You're not just going off of pure intuition alone when you're fighting like really good players. You gotta know how your character and the other characters work, and specific scenarios in that matchup for it to actually, come down to it, and you can actually win. Of course, matchup knowledge carries a good amount of people because it's fucking matchup knowledge. It's like saying, studying carries a lot of students. Well, no, fuck, duh, carries a lot of students. It's studying. You gotta learn how to do the thing. You gotta learn what the thing does. Obviously, it carries a lot of people. What is harder is the execution of the knowledge that you have learned in the middle of the match. The pressure of execution is what bars the top players from the lab monsters. That's that shit that happens. Execution in the middle of a match in a tournament setting. Yeah. So yes, natural knowledge carries a lot of people. But there are other things that carry a lot of people. Things that are genuinely hard to learn. So yeah, this is like a frigid ass take. Frigid. Alright. Finally. By Kaz. These are the final 2, and I'll be talking about these ones for a little bit. Hold on, me. Okay, sorry. But yeah, finally. By Kaz. No character in this game is truly bad. It's just that specific characters and game mechanics are too good and it balances it. The top S tiers and top A tiers characters and guard canceling come to mind. This is like the top tier, high tier thing that I wanted to bring up. Yeah, this is a solid take. I like this take. If fucking V2 didn't exist. He says no character is truly bad, but V2 and 100% exist. And I think it is a very hard-pressed argument to make 100% sound good. Like, really good. You can make him sound better than he is. You can make him sound better, but I don't think you can make him sound on par to make him, like, actually kind of, like, tournament-ish viable. Even though there have been players who have pushed characters to their very limits, making it so that way 100% could win tournaments and can look good, he still has a lot of issues. A lot of issues. Combos dropping out of fucking nowhere. Some of his moves don't work. His FD is weird as shit. His projectiles are garbage, even at fully charged. Right? So, he has problems. He has a lot of problems. But there could be an argument being made that after that point, every character could be played to high viable to viability if like the S tiers and the top A tiers weren't as busted as they were. Like the S tiers and top A tiers, they are pretty strong, and game mechanics do help them and really don't help the bottom tier, bottom tier, unless you're fighting another bottom tier. It doesn't really help you that much, because the top tier will just smother you out with their more oppressive buttons and specials and quirks, so that way you can't really use the game mechanics. And your character feels really bad. A lot of people don't realize how bad their character actually is until you fight like a really good player who's playing a really good character. And you're like, damn, maybe V2 ain't that good. Maybe his massive projectiles aren't that great. Like, yeah, he has cool projectiles and stuff like that, but he still has problems with his special one not connecting in longer combos. His FD, his projectiles being absolute shit, except for literally one of them. And other than that, he has just problems. He's slow as shit, too. But yeah, like, you can make an argument after, like, that point of those characters. Everyone else could, in theory, be played to viability, right? You can make that argument, right? If, like, everything was kind of tuned down, everyone would generally be balanced. But those characters, I think, just need straight-up buffs. Those characters just need straight-up buffs, in my opinion. Next one by Kaz is another take. Claiming a character is lower tier purely based on their inability to use a specific playstyle and completely disregarding their optimal playstyle in the process is dumb and biased. I think, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of people don't know their character's optimal playstyles. Because, like, I feel like a lot of characters just haven't reached that point to know that yet. And obviously people are going to be biased on what they think how a character should be played or how good a character actually is because of how their experience with that character. And they'll believe that they are right because they have those experiences with those characters. Obviously people can help around, but they will have that biased take of every single character. I believe that everyone is biased and no one in a fighting game will ever have the 100% objective correct take on every single character in the game. I think it will be utterly impossible to do that in any fighting game, especially in Oj2, where all the characters are so unique and there are so many matchups to take into consideration that you will not even top players will ever be 100% correct. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I don't think anyone has the objective, complete, correct answer to every character's viability in this game, or every character's optimal playstyle in the game. There's only one character that I believe has been raised to optimal standards. Maybe 2 or 3, but I think there's one that I think is really close, or if at just there optimally, and that's Bakugo. Simply because of how many people play him, how many really good people play him, and how much tech has been discovered for him. He is basically just there. Like, a lot of people play him. A lot of top players play him. A lot of people have pocket Bakugos, right? But not a lot of people have pocket compresses, or pocket gentles, or pocket momos. Which is funny enough, because I think momos is like a most optimized character, simply because Kamina existed. The fucker grinded so hard, bro. He grinded. Another one is Base Deku for booty. I don't think I've seen anyone else lab that character to the extremes that he did. Obviously, there are lab monsters for other characters, like BS Shig. Kuro played a lot of BS Shig. Obviously, I don't really know BS Shig like that, to really comment on his optimal thing. Like, even I wouldn't have the correct opinion. You don't have to listen to what I have to say. You could think that fucking Gentle has been completely optimized and there's nothing more to learn, but everyone has that different experience. Everyone is biased in some way, shape, or form. Everyone is biased about their character in this game, and I do not think that anyone in the community has a 100% objective take on literally anything except for things that have just been straight up agreed upon to be garbage. Like some of the things in the game and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like some people are just biased for what they think. And that's not bad. People are allowed to be biased, but you have to see that you yourself while making this take can be biased towards the way you think, right? You yourself can be biased to the way you think. Not everyone will have the same idea for an optimal playstyle or an optimal way to play a character that you do. And hell, even the way you describe a character's optimal playstyle, it could be completely fucking wrong. Someone could discover something that makes that take completely obsolete. We just don't know. The game hasn't been perfected yet. That's the problem. We're not like Third Strike, where everyone's been playing for 20 goddamn years and everyone knows basically everything, right? We haven't been playing like that. So I think that everyone is biased. Hell, I'm biased to certain things. Like, people overrate, underrate the character, say that this is how you play the character, say this is the meta, say this is that, and this is that. And that's really the revolving point of this entire video. People just make takes. People are biased. People say things that they believe are right, and usually sometimes people won't change. But this video is just a great discussion. Now, in the comments, tell me what you think are your hot takes. Tell me what you thought about my takes in this video. Hopefully, I was professional and respectful enough. Obviously, do not go and harass anyone. That is completely inappropriate and not cool. That's not cool. Don't harass anyone for the takes. Obviously, I kind of ragged on Webb because, like, I thought that was a genuinely bad take. But tell me what you guys think about every take in this take that I talked about in this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.